We all love getting better at mountain biking. It's what makes it so much fun, but sometimes things might be against you. Maybe trail conditions are minging, the weather's horrible, or even you just don't quite have enough time to get out for a proper trail ride. Well, luckily, you can still get better in a very confined space. Yeah, very, very small. And today I've got some great skills that you can learn almost anywhere. First up, the manual then, a great skill both on and off the trail. It can be really useful, and it's essentially the ability to pick your front wheel up and hold it there using your body weight and the back brake in tandem. And then you're just gliding along, looking super steezy. Whilst it is a great skill to have and show off to your mates in car parks and things like that, and that is a great place to learn it, it's actually also really useful to transfer over onto the trail. To be able to pick the front wheel up and over obstacles or up and over a bump to be able to pump and generate more speed. But how do you manual, I hear you screaming? Well, here's how. Where's best to learn a manual then? Well, a big open area is a great spot. So like this big old fire road or a car park or something like that, you can do it outside, even in your own house on the road. Just be careful, of course. A flat place is best, but if it's sloping ever so slightly downhill, then that's a winner too, because it makes it slightly easier to pick the old front wheel up. You want to come into a manual at a fairly steady speed, nothing too quick, nothing too slow, just enough to keep yourself going. And then to actually lift the front wheel up, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to be coming along in that neutral riding position, you'll crouch into the bike and shift your weight back, extending your arms in kind of an L-shaped motion. That shift down and back and extending your arms is going to pull the front wheel up. First few times that you do this, you might find that the front wheel will lift up ever so slightly, but honing this in and practicing more and more, you'll get to sort of the grips of just how much you need to pull back and at the timing that you need to shift your weight back as well to get that front wheel up in the air. The higher up in the air you get, just be warned, you need to cover the back brake, as when that front end lifts, if you start looping out like this, if you're going along, you dab that back brake, boom, it's going to slam that front wheel down. Now that's obviously good to stop you going backflipping into the oblivion, but you need to learn to feather it to hold that front wheel up there. If you find your manuals are pulling off to the left and the right and they're going all over the place, it's because you're not moving your body in a dead straight line. Try to keep your butt and your body going down the top tube and over the back wheel nice and centrally, and not shifting your weight to the left or the right. An endo is the name given to balancing on the front wheel of your bike like that when stationary, and it's going to be the foundation of the next couple of skills we're going to learn. But first up, here's how to do the endo. Roll along at a slow speed before pulling the front brake and shifting your weight forwards. You'll feel the back wheel come off the ground. At that point, find the balance point above the front wheel and hold before placing the wheel back on the ground. If you feel like you're going to go over the bars, release the front brake and that'll drop the back end down. A great place to learn this is on a slight gradient of a hill, as it will make shifting your body weight forwards even easier. You've mastered endos then. Congratulations, well done. But we're going to take it to the next level now, and it's time to master the 180 endo turn. Here is exactly how you do it. Roll into the endo, but drop your shoulder to one side as you pull the brake and swing your feet and hips around. Keep your weight forwards as the bike swings around. You'll probably only make it 90 degrees or so to begin with, but keep at it and you'll soon get the whole 180. When you're learning this, you're probably going to find it easiest to spin the opposite side of what your lead foot is. So if you're right foot forwards, you'll spin anti-clockwise. You'll do this because your left foot, your trailing foot, will help kick the back end around. When you are learning the 180, well, flat pedals are best for this, as it means you can fling your feet off at any moment and not have to worry. And where is this useful? Well, tight turns, switchbacks, sudden changes direction are all great places you can use this maneuver. Oh, your endos are dialed then. Your 180s are also looking pretty sharp. Nice one. So what else can you do on the front wheel? Well, stoppies are also a great skill to learn, and they really teach you the art of brake modulation. So here is exactly how you do them. Like the endo, ride along at a moderate speed. Shift your body weight forwards in a similar fashion, but instead of grabbing a handful of front brake, modulate it. So pull it in so that the front wheel doesn't lock up completely. As you shift your body weight forwards and it comes up into the air with the back wheel, feather that front brake ever so gently so that you don't either lock up or go over the bars. Oh, right, there we have it then, stoppies mastered. Now remember, when you are learning this, it's easier to learn on solid ground instead of loose ground like gravel, because it means the traction will be the same every time. It won't skit around underneath you. And if you feel you're going too far forwards, remember, let go of that front brake and the back will drop down. Good luck. The next skill to learn, and maybe isn't as applicable to trail riding as you might think, but it's still a great one to know because it's going to help with bike control, balance and braking, and it's going fakie or backwards. Here's how. Start by rolling forward in a medium gear. Do a small endo, shifting your weight forwards and then backwards as the wheel comes down and you release the front brake to start the backwards movement of the bike. As the bike moves backwards, you need to pedal backwards. This stops the free hub from engaging and stopping the bike. Some people find it easiest to balance by looking up ahead, others by looking down at the front wheel. Try both to figure out what works for you. At the end, you can either hop out of the fakie or just slow down and start pedaling forward again. This might come with a lot of practice, mind. Final points then for the fakie. Do the reverse basically of the endo when it comes to finding a good bit of ground. You want to ride uphill, do your little endo, and then have a nice, very gradual gradient to help you roll backwards. It's just going to make life a lot easier in the learning process. Good luck. I know you got this one. Cornering is an inherent part of mountain biking that you cannot escape, so it's something well worth practicing, and there's a really easy way of doing this with this simple pile of rocks. Find a big old flat area or a bit of a slope like we've got here and just place them on the ground, and they give you something to weave between. If you are finding it a bit easy, you can make it harder for yourself. You can move the rocks closer together. Now that's whether you're doing a figure of 8 or you've got them in a long line like we do here. It's a really good thing to practice because it's going to sharpen up moving your body around, braking, looking ahead, and actually choosing a line to get through those turns as well, all of which are going to transfer across to the trail really well. Oh, there we go, made it. A great bit of fun then that you can pretty much have anywhere, even just chuck a jumper or two on the floor. You can still have a laugh. But there you go, there's some great simple skills you can learn almost anywhere. I hope they've helped you out. Hope you've enjoyed them. It's been fun to make this one for you. But I'm off. If you've got any more simple skills you'd like to know, why not let me know down below. But happy riding, everyone, and I'll catch you later.